So over the last few days, I have been working overnights at one of my many jobs, so I haven't been able to get some of my videos up the way that I had really wanted to. I did already review Doom the Dark Ages Revelations DLC, but I ended up going back through some of the mastery stuff and wanted to kind of refresh that. So we are recording it again to give you a better understanding of why we think that this is one of the best DLCs that id Software has ever created, some of the best content id Software has ever created. And there's going to be people out there that are going to disagree with this review. You don't have to agree with every one of my reviews, and you don't have to agree with a lot of people's positive reviews about this game. If you don't like it, don't play it. But I can state this. I've been playing Doom since the 1990s and seeing the progression of this series and this saga, especially this new saga, this re-released, re-enhanced version that has more lore and more content out there. I think that id Software has done one hell of a job of bringing Doom into what it is today. So if you don't know much about Revelations, wounded and betrayed, the Slayer is thrust into a merciless purgatory, only escapable by confronting haunting truths and forging new strengths with the help of a mysterious ally. He must ascend from his prison of his mind and fight off the gods to set his followers on the path of freedom. Featuring new levels and deeper puzzles, new demons, and new mysteries, Revelations also adds new dimensions to combat with the deadly Chain Spear, offering the returning Slayers a uniquely satisfying combat system that rewards mastery with a potent combination of power and mobility. So if you have played Doom before, you know that the Chain Spear somewhat kind of reminds us of the shotgun with the chain hook that was in Doom Eternal. There is somewhat of a similarity between both of these styles of play. Were many times when using this Super Shotgun Edition with that chain hook that you could kind of swing and sway how you wanted to do. But I feel like Doom Eternal was more kind of platformy compared to like the stand your ground kind of gameplay that Doom the Dark Ages kind of merged into this realm. I can say this. The story overall and lore is one hell of a time. If you're really big into the Doom universe and the Doom story like I am, this does a lot of the connect the dots that you kind of asked at the end of Dark Ages, but also during Doom Eternal. I always kind of wanted to know a little bit more about the Doom Slayer's kind of travels throughout this realm and through hell, but also I wanted to know about his origins. One thing that does excite me that with the team working on a new Doom game already, does this mean that we are going to get maybe a Doom, I don't know, a Doom that continues from the Doom 2016 as like a breakoff? Are we going to get like a remake of the original Doom Marine style game? I don't know. I think that there's some really big possibilities of making the Doomslayer's next journey something really special. The great thing about this game, like I said, was with the campaign and with the additional story that they added into it. There's a lot of really kind of cool callbacks to not just the classic Doom, which you can unlock a lot of those classic modes and stuff after you beat the game in the Mastery Arena, but I think there was some really cool callbacks to before the Doomslayer was ever even involved with this whole heaven and hell, evil versus good battle. You know, there were some really cool moments to where we see this, and this is spoilers for anybody, but I mean, the DLC's been out for roughly 7 days now, but there's some really big callbacks or call-outs and kind of like cool moments that showcase the Doom Marine whenever he is literally just the Doom Marine before any of the whole hell stuff happened, before he became the Slayer, when he was just kind of going through his missions, and it kind of puts him on the spot of some mistakes that he made in his past and why he is haunted for so long with some of the dark stuff that he did, or some of the things he did without kind of care of what was going to happen for him doing those deeds. What's cool about Revelations is that not only does it add new story, but it adds a fully upgradable Revelations loadout using the spear and the new suit. Also, Revelations tracks have been added into the Riptorium. There are 6 new encounters in the Riptorium as well, and there are new arenas in the Riptorium as well with Hellcore, Osius, and Classic, which of course is the classic version of the game, remastered and redone from the ground up. So I definitely think that is one of the coolest things that they really added into the game outside of the story that kind of is like a story element, but at the same time it's not. It is a really cool kind of classic reach back to what was always so great about Doom is, back in the day, you really didn't need a lot of story. You just kind of wanted to go through these rooms, kill some demons, see where it took you. And I think that there is a lot to kind of unravel in those modes. But the Riptorium really kind of adds a level of difficulty, but also a level of replayability that is really cool. So like I said, the story was really great. The kind of callback to when he was the Doom Marine and some of the missions that he did were really fun. The overall gameplay is sped up. You do have those customizable settings in the game now as well, to where you can go in and you can scale it however you want. If you want the Doom Slayer to do 250 to 1,000 damage and the demons only do 75% damage, you could do that. Or if you want more of a challenge, you could do 1,000% damage by the Doom Slayer, but also 1,000% damage by the demons, or vice versa. You can literally change the game speed. You can change all different types of play styles and make it your own play style, which I think on most of the story, whenever I was first running through Hurt Me Plenty, I had it on like the demons did 125% damage and I did 100%. But once I beat it, I went back through it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in here like a god this time. So I boosted it up to where I was like, I think I did 250 damage and they only did 75% damage. And man, was it wild. And then I boosted the game speed up as well. And it felt very classic, very nostalgic type of like Doom gameplay as we were playing. So, like I said, the big thing, there were a lot of new demons in the game as well. And, the Archvile is back. There's also all different types of stuff. The infamous one-eyed flying people eater, the Pain Element, is back as well. There is Cosmic Elemental. I said the Pain Element. I meant the Pain Elemental. But there's all different types of really cool stuff in the game. One thing that I got to say is... with the new additions of the demons, I think that was a really cool thing, but something that you will definitely for sure have to get used to as you play this DLC is the Chain Spear. So initially, I will state that there was, whenever I first played it on day one, there was a binding issue. There was some type of, after that update, it got it to where it was unbinded, and you actually had to go in there physically bind it. But then I found out after kind of researching it, if you just reset it to default, then it fixed that issue. But using the shield saw, I really got used to that gameplay. So whenever I first started playing with the Chain Spear, I was not very happy. I'm not going to lie. I was like, okay, this is too different. I can't do this. It completely changes the gameplay compared to what it was previously. But as you begin to upgrade and you get platinum, and then you get you get all these other unlocks and upgrades through playing the game, it really updates things in a good way. Once you beat the game and you go back into Purgatory, you have these mastery arenas that you can go into and kind of challenge yourself by not only picking up platinum, but you can also go back into these areas and find something that is called blood iron. So the blood iron is definitely something that will help you kind of top out your weapons, top out your skill sets, top out your chain spears, top out your health and your shield and your ammo. But then something else that is really cool in the game is the collectibles that you have. Not only can you collect toys and skins in each one of these areas, but you can collect these relics. And whenever you collect those relics, you get a ton of either platinum or you get a ton of the blood iron that you can use to upgrade your character. So I went back and I did most of all of that. I actually got what did I finish on this game? I finished pretty much everything. I got the mastery key and the in-game boss. I did the mastery arena. I did upgrade my chain spear fully. I've upgraded my health and shield 100%. So playing back through the game, it does feel very different when you are like top tier. And you do kind of have those moments, kind of like what Hugo had said whenever he was talking about the chain spear, that whenever you upgrade that thing enough, it kind of feels like you're like an overpowered Jedi. You're literally running through and just like slashing and destroying as much as possible. But I will say, and this is a spoiler, of course, what was really cool in the story that kind of ties into this upgrade system is that you see where the Predator armor came from. The Predator suit is actually binded and put together by this mysterious character that is helping you. And as you upgrade with the mastery keys, you'll be able to re-enter different mission portals and unlock your mastery key arenas. And once you get that and you unlock new levels of your power for your chain spear as well as your Predator armor, you eventually get to the point to where you're just like God level. So I think that was a really cool element that they added into it for replayability. Now, the one thing that I will complain about with the game is the fact that you can't go back and replay the DLC from start to finish with everything that you've unlocked. I don't know if that was something that they just decided to do or they haven't decided if they're going to do it or not. Like a New Games Plus mode for the DLC. I know that the New Games Plus mode was not available for Dark Ages right off the bat, I think, and it was kind of the same thing with Eternal. I think it came a little bit later. So maybe they plan on doing that or announcing that during the time of QuakeCon, which is just in about 3.5 weeks. But it was something that was irritating to me because I wanted to go back through and play and upgrade or like find some of the stuff that I didn't get to find, the secrets that I didn't get to find in the previous missions. But if you want to do that after you beat everything, then you literally have to start a new save, and that was a little irritating. One thing that I did love as well, of course, was the music in the game. The music in Doom Eternal was just a fascinating and very unbelievable experience. The crew over at Finishing Move just did such an amazing job at composing this music for the game. It felt very intense as you're playing and seeing these wonderful visuals that were in this game. It really kind of pulled you into that universe. But then also, I got to give a big shout out to Andrew Holschult. His amazing classic album, IDKFA, was in the classic version of the game, which whenever you go to these classic levels, IDKFA is featured in the game. And I thought it was really something special. Hearing those albums and being able to play those levels kind of like redone and built from the ground up were really cool, very fun. Being able to unlock the 1993 shotgun as well, and it being like a fucking wild one-shot kill type of weapon was just great. And also with the ability of being able to unlock these like skins for it, you have like such a classic feel while you're playing the game. It moves right whenever you get that 1993 shotgun. It moves it back into the classic kind of first-person, middle-of-the-screen mode, which was really cool. And something I did talk about, too, that I didn't talk about at the beginning of the video, the visuals are really great. There is a really big spectacle to the game, especially the fact that most of the DLC is all set in Purgatory, and the visuals were really, really something cool. There's all these different versions of Purgatory, and then whenever, like, the Doomslayer, spoiler right here, whenever the Doomslayer does come back from Purgatory and get back into the area of, this realm that the con maker basically lied to everyone and told them, outright that the Doomslayer was dead and he was never coming back. When he returns and seeing all these people like, holy shit, she said he was dead and he's back. It was such a bone-chilling kind of moment. Like, he was about to kick some ass and take some names. And having that music and those amazing visual representations on screen were just one hell of an experience. So like I said, really the main thing that kind of frustrated me was the fact that we weren't able to kind of go back and play the game from start to finish in New Games Plus mode. Hopefully they'll have an update for that eventually, but I am going to give this DLC a 5 out of 5. I thought it was one hell of an experience. You do have to kind of get used to the chain spear at first, but once you start upgrading it and you're using that platinum to upgrade your skills, and then whenever you get into the mastery arena and you're able to actually go and get that blood iron and get that kind of real type of Doomslayer God-esque feel to the character, dude, not only do the weapons do really great damage, but you really get used to the chain spear, especially the mechanism to where you're able to throw the chain spear into your enemy, lock onto them, and as you're spinning around them, just like, completely destroy them with your weapon. Was really, really a fun experience. So we're giving it a 5 out of 5. Please make sure to check us out at Cineleaks.com for some of the latest and greatest geek news, movie news, and gaming news. Great content and great content creators right over at Cineleaks. We'll talk to you soon. Peace out.